we're on the other side of the room. It is pure chaos over here. Chaos. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to whatever this video is going to become. My name is Rena and today we are going to be doing a 50 subscriber bonus video. Yay! I'm so excited. Basically all we're doing today is we're going to quickly talk about how I rate books, how I choose star ratings. I don't really know how else to put it. This video is kind of to like explain my rating system so like if you watch my channel all the time, you know kind of why I'm rating things and where they stand for me. But also this is kind of to help maybe anyone who just might have started reading and they want to know how to rate books or how other people do it so they can create their own rating system. So yeah, dual purpose video. Yeah, I did write down everything, so I hopefully won't go too off topic today. So let's get started. So we're gonna be starting with a 3-star rating because this is actually what I rate books like off the bat. Every book I starts with a 3-star rating, and that is because I consider this like the mid tier, and in my head most books are gonna fall into this category, especially if they're outside a genre that I enjoy to read. The reasoning behind this is like I want to show that a book is good even if I necessarily don't enjoy it. Yeah, like that's the biggest thing. Like if I'm reading a book and maybe it's like an exploratory genre for me, I'm like, okay, this is a decent book and I didn't enjoy a major aspect of it, but like I can see where this would be a solid book for someone else. Usually it means that the writing was really good. It's just like, again, I don't connect with either like the character or the storyline or something like that. Very rarely though is it the opposite where like I really connect with the story and it has bad writing. I'm very sensitive to writing style in stuff, so like for me, if the writing's usually noticeably bad, it kind of gets bumped down. But once in a while, like very rarely, I will have a book where I'm having a really good time but the writing is really horrendous, so I can't like fathom giving it higher than a 3-star, but like it was a 3-star. Yes, moving on, let's go down because I already mentioned the down. So that is a 2-star. And this is really when like something is like noticeably wrong with this like a book, whether it is in a genre that I enjoy or a genre that I'm trying to like dabble in. This is where books go when I'm like actively noticing things going wrong most of the time with the writing or the characters or the plot. That's literally all I wrote in my notes. Like it literally says bullet point, usually the writing, bullet point or the plot, bullet point or the characters. What else did I write? Oh yeah, and I will say this is the tier of writing where, so to be a 2-star, I have to finish it, but usually the process of reading it makes me feel like my brain is being actively scraped against a brick. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I genuinely have that feeling in my body while I'm reading a book I don't enjoy. But these are books that even though I get that feeling, I've managed somehow to push through to the end just to see, because I used to DNF them like without problem, but then someone's like, well, sometimes like the end makes up for stuff. So now I try to get to the end to see if maybe there's a payoff or that changes my impression of the book. It's just like, it usually doesn't. Usually it's a waste of time. So sorry, but yeah. And then since I already mentioned the down, let's go down to the 1-star, and that is my DNFs. So I know there's some people who like are like, oh, I just don't rate a book if I DNF it. And I'm of a completely different train of thought because I feel like if a book is bad enough that you can't finish it, then you have to let people know that the book is bad and you couldn't finish it. Because for the most part, I feel like if I've read 30 pages, sometimes that's like 60 to 100 pages depending on the size of the book, maybe more, I feel like you've gotten a decent grasp of this person's writing and how this person sets up a story. And if it's not good and you personally don't like it, I think it's fair to give it a 1-star, because even though it is someone's like art or craft, when you're rating a book, ratings are for other readers. So if you didn't like it, I think it's fair to give things 1-star. When I was younger, I did feel bad because a lot of people were like, oh, if you DNF books, you're just really mean and blah, blah, blah. And then definitely with like a lot of the author drama that's happening on TikTok where it's like, ah, yes. If you give like all the authors that are like, you gave my book a bad rating, so I'm just gonna like delete your review off of Goodreads. But yeah, I don't really feel bad. Yeah, so basically I think it's fair to give 1 stars. I don't give anything, and like in rating systems that let you give like 0.5. I don't really do that. I will do just like flat 1 because I don't know, it's enough to give it a 1. Yeah, I wish there was a way to give things 0 stars. That would be great. Because there are a few, very few. I will say, I'm on pace to read like 150 books this year, and I've always kind of been like this, like usually averaging around 60 to 70 books since I was maybe in like 6th grade. I will say there's actually very few books that I would give no rating to, and I've given like 1-star ratings to. So like I use this category sparingly, but it is there because it happens. So now that we've covered the more bad, what am I trying to say? The not as fun side, let's cover the enjoyable side. So a 4-star book. So this is kind of where I get the feeling like, I'm like, oh yeah, this was good. I enjoyed it. Typically I tend to feel slightly impressed. Like, I'm like, oh yes, this had moments of good writing. This had moments of good, like feeling. Sometimes it's not always like the most consistent, or like once in a while we'll get like little errors and stuff where like I'll notice them, but like the story or a character or the like writing is good enough where I can just be like, okay, it like that's kind of weird, but it's fine. I'll keep going and I'm having a good time like throughout the whole thing. That's my like 4-star rating. I also feel like if you look at my like Goodreads and my Storygraph, like my average rating on Storygraph is around like 4.25, and that typically is because a lot of the books that I'm currently reading right now is stuff that I've known I'm gonna like. I tend to read mainly fantasy and romance separately. I don't like romantasy. I like fantasy with the subplot of romance, and I like contemporary romance or historical romance books. I don't really like romantasy, mainly because, sorry, this is already getting off track. This is exactly why I have a list, but I'll finish explaining this. So in the romance genre, the only rule for a romance book is that the couple must be together at the end. And for a lot of romantasies who are like, oh, they're enemies to lovers, or they're like rivals, or yeah, anyway, it just for me goes a little, the relationship gets speed run. I don't know, what's the the English language. The relationship usually gets like sped run for it to be together by the end of the book, and I just don't enjoy that. I really like a fantasy series where we get to see like these two people who maybe hate each other slowly get to know each other. And yeah, I like once in a while it'll be good. I actually I was gonna say I really enjoyed series with the couple together by the end, and I'm like, no, actually no, I'm kidding. I don't like romantasy, but where was it? Where was the point of this? What am I saying? I lost the plot, guys. Anyway, I guess we'll move on to 5-star because I genuinely forgot what I was talking about. But 5-star are like, this book's really amazing. I will never shut up again. And for me, the 5-star category is usually books that I would reread. Like that's kind of like the like tier for it, I guess. There are some 4.4. I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but there are some 4-star books that I would reread, but those typically tend to be things where like I have this habit, okay? I know it's not exactly the most efficient habit, but great, this is behind me, I can show you. So let's say I've read up to the 3rd book of Keeper of the Lost Cities and I want to read the 4th one. I would read all of these again before I read the 4th one, and then when like the 5th book came out, I would read all of them again to read the like 5th one. Like that's just something I do normally. So whenever I'm reading a new book in a series, I will reread the books previous to it, but it's not necessarily something like I'm out of nowhere and want to just reread. This is not always true. This is just like one of the qualifiers. Another thing for a 5-star book for me, sometimes a 5-star book is so emotional and so good that I genuinely cannot pick it up ever again. Because if I pick it up again and it's not the same as I remember it, it like will crush something inside of me and I don't know how to deal with it. For example, Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, which is crazy because that is literary fiction, which is one of my least favorite categories ever about books. Yeah, I think the only thing that is worse for me is maybe like horror. I don't read like any horror. I can read things with horror elements, but like horror books, no. Thrillers, oh, I hate thrillers more than horror actually. It's funny because I feel like I read a lot of them, but maybe like why. No, I don't really love thrillers. I don't know what I'm saying. This is what happens. This is why my videos end up like 2 hours long, because I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, 5-star books. 5-star books usually will solidly throughout the whole thing be getting emotions out of me, whether it's laughing or crying or wanting to throw things. I feel like a really strong emotional connection to them. For example, most of my Keepers books, I believe, are 5 stars. The amount of times I've actually physically thrown these books across the room because I was upset, especially as a teenager, is insane. Another good example for me right now, is the Raven Cycle series by Maggie. Still can't pronounce her last name. I read those recently, but I think if middle school me would have read them, I would have actually melted. I think it was good that I didn't discover them till when I was an adult and had better control of my emotions, because my physical reaction to finishing the series, like the last book, I'm truly not the same person, like kind of stuff like that. And then some of you are like, Zarina, you mentioned 0.5 ratings or 0.25, like how do you get those? Well, okay, so I work on something I call the Just Dance rating system. So for anyone who's played Just Dance, you know, like when you're getting the stars in the game, like you'll have 3 stars until you've reached the 4th star. Like there's a lot of people like, I round up. I don't round up. And the reason behind that is because of the Just Dance rating system. For me, the way it works is like a book that is 3.75 stars in places that only have like whole star ratings will be rounded down to a 3 stars because it did not reach the plateau of the 4th star. Like it might have been really close, but it didn't reach it. And I feel like too many people round up that I feel like by rounding down, I can at least give a more accurate rating for other people. Plus, it just makes sense in my head. It really is a feeling. Like it feels like when something reaches, like is a 3.75 star, it's like they're hanging onto a cliff, versus like when they reach a 4th star, they like are on the stair. Does that make sense? That honestly, I think I sound crazy. Anyway, I think, yeah, that's everything. This video is everywhere, but it's fine. Was this helpful? I don't think it was helpful at all. Hopefully it was helpful to at least a couple people. We're at the end of the video. I just want to say thank you to all 51 people actually, that are subscribed. I really, really appreciate it. If you want more videos from me, check out my channel if you're new here. Yeah, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and like really appreciate everyone who helped me reach that goal. Yeah, leave a like. I appreciate that too. And then leave in the comments, do you do DNF? Like, do you rate 1 stars? Like, what's your system? I would love to know, because I feel like my system is a little crazy, but I have rules and I like to follow those rules. So yeah, that's it. Okay, bye!